Hello everyone and welcome back to channel once again. And for today's video I'm going to share one more team in the Weather Cup, and today's showcase is going to be my Shadow A.Sandslash, which is having a decent IV spread, that is 111 and 6, which is decent, but still is going to work out fine. So since A.Sandslash is ice and steel typing, I need to cover it from pseudo fighters rather, pseudo fighters, fire typings and ground typings. So these three coverage I need over here, which is going to line up pretty similarly with my last team which I have used up. So for A.Sandslash I'm going to pair it with Lanturn and Cradily, which is extremely bulky and very good in this meta. So Lanturn is going to be my lead over here in this scenario, and as you guys all know that Cradily is super strong as safe swap, so I'm going to use that Cradily in the safe swap position as well, just like my last team. Because Cradily is kind of bulky in this meta, and it has got a very good moveset of Stone Edge and Grass Knot that hits like a truck to this whole meta over here. So that is going to be the overall team composition that I had in my mind. So I first thought of trying out Swampert, Shadow Swampert in a safe swap position, and leading it with A.Sandslash, but that didn't really work out for me because I went straight 2-3 loss streak with that team. So that is the reason I again switched out my team for Lanturn and Cradily. So Lanturn and Cradily combination is working out superbly for me, so that is the reason I'm again using that in lead and safe swap position. And if A.Sandslash does have a really good health, kind of energy advantage, or maybe shield advantage also in the end game, it can sweep the whole meta over here. So that is the thought process that I had while building this team up. And without further more delay, let's quickly jump into the battles and check out how this team performed. Moving into the first battle, I pick up the lead against A.Sandslash with my Lanturn. A pretty neutral lead, but I have to watch out for multiple bulldoze over here, because multiple bulldoze along with the Shadow Claw will end up knocking my Lanturn out. So I'll be going for the first surf over here, and then I did a CMP tie onto this, I think, which is going to be a bulldoze. So I put my first shield up, which ends up being a bulldoze, so that's a nice call from my end. And now I'll be going for the next surf once again. So this surf puts the A.Sandslash in a very comfortable farm down range, but now from this kind of range, one bulldoze will not knock me out from this kind of health. So that is the reason I will be taking out I will be taking out switch advantage, and now they comes back with their Evermasno, to which I have a hard wall with it, which is my A.Sandslash, and now they comes back with their own final Pokemon, that is going to be a Quagsire. So for Quagsire, I do have a hard counter to it, which is going to be my Cradily, because I have got access to Grass Knot and Bullet Seed that hits with immense damage onto this mud boy over here. To which now I'll be shielding up the next, I believe, Earthquake, but they went for a Sludge Bomb that works out fine. So now I'll be farming it a bit of extra energy, to which now I'll be going for the next Grass Knot. So this Grass Knot will definitely guarantee the final shield from my opponent's end, but now I lose a CMB tie over here with the Quagsire. So my Cradily will definitely go down, but now from this kind of range I can easily come back with my own very healthy A.Sandslash over here, and this Razor Leaf and Weather Ball are double resisted over here because of my Steel Ice typing. To which now I'll be covering, like I'll be building up to almost 2.5 Ice Punches, and now I'll be going for the first Ice Punch that puts the Evermasno in very low. I can farm it down, and to which now I have a loaded Ice Punch ready for the Quagsire that will be coming in, and I will be getting the win for the first battle with this team. So GG's to my opponent, really well played. Moving into the next battle, I pick up a lead against Swampert over here, which is a tough lead. So that is the reason I'll not be staying in that matchup. So rather I'll be safe swapping quickly into my own Cradily. And the mistake that they have done, because they waited quite long to switch out because they went for a Hydro Cannon over here, to which now they comes back with their own A.Sandslash. So I'll be putting up one shield because the Ice Punch will be knocking me out. So I want to come this. I want to be in this matchup for 1-to-1 shield. So I'll be going for the next Stone Edge that will guarantee the shield, and now they cannot farm me down with Shadow Claws over here. So they have to throw, which is going to be Ice Punch, but this puts the A.Sandslash in a kind of heavy farm down range for my Lanturn over here. So I'll be waiting up the switch clock, and now I'll be coming back with my own Lanturn. So Lanturn does have a high high thing to do, high gameplay over here with Lanturn. So I have to go for the surf just before they reach to the bulldoze, and now they comes back with their own Swampert. So I do have to watch out for potential earthquake that takes 16 turns to reach to it. 8 mud shots for the first earthquake, and I'll be respecting it. So I'll be going up for the first shield, and let's see what they will be throwing the first. Not earthquake, it's going to be a sludge bomb, and now to which they will be switching back into their own Shadow Kingdra, to which I have a great response to it, which is my A.Sandslash. So they will be letting the first charge move go through, which lands for very high neutral damage in this scenario, and I think they will be going for the high energy nuke, which is going to be the outrage that almost does take me out, and from this kind of range I can easily farm down the Kingdra. And since they went for the sludge wave, so they are energy dry, I can farm the Swampert down for another win with this team. So GG's. Moving into the third battle, I pick up a lead against Sudowoodo. So it's a pseudo fighter, so I have to watch out for this Sudowoodo with my A.Sandslash. So I will be making sure that I don't catch into the matchup with my Sandslash over here. So I'll be respecting the earthquake, which they went for the earthquake, and from this kind of range I'll be building up extra energy, and now I'll be going for the second serve rather. So if they are wanting to give their shield, so I'm happy with it because I have almost doubled up, but they let it go, to which now I'll be going for the next Thunderbolt that does neutral damage in this scenario because they comes back with their own Lanturn, which is good because I do have a really hard counter to Lanturn as well, which is my Cradily. So I'll be going for enough chip damage with this Thunderbolt, and they cannot farm me down from that kind of range, so they have to go for their Thunderbolt. But since I have a very decent IV over here with my Lanturn, so I could reach to the next Thunderbolt as well that guarantees the first shield from my opponent's end. And with this team, I thought this might have some kind of fire typing in the backline, because they first came in with their Sudowoodo, and they now they came back with their own Lanturn over here. But since I got both the shields from my opponent's end, so I'll be going for so not both the shields. So I got this Lanturn low, so I thought of coming back with my Cradily to get some kind of energy advantage, to which now I'll be going for the first grass knot, and the final Pokemon is going to be the Macago, which I was quite sure that they will be having a fire type in the backline, because the first and second Pokemon is actually weak to grass. So my assumption was correct, so that is the reason I'll be shielding up the first Rock Tomb over here, and now I'll be going for the next Stone Edge, but not before they could throw the next Rock Tomb. Rock Tomb does not take me out, and I could reach to the next Stone Edge just in time, which does take the Macago out, and they will be having a very low Lanturn in the back, to which I have enough energy for my own Sandslash to get to the next Ice Punch that will give the win for the third battle here as well for this team. So GG's to my opponent, really well played. Moving into the fourth battle, I pick up a lead against, again, A.Sandslash. So A.Sandslash, as I've already mentioned, that it's a really good pick in this meta as well, as long as you keep it aside from the fighters, pseudo fighters, fire and ground typing. So if you are managing that, it's a very good pick for this meta, to which now I'll be going for the first serve in this matchup. So I'll be going for the next serve after landing the first one. So if they are willing to shield, I'm fine with it, because from this kind of range I can farm it down. So I was counting very correctly, because now they will be going for an Ice Punch that does not knock me out, and I can farm down. So I have got a loaded energy with my own Lanturn, and whatever they comes back in, I will be doing. I'll be going for the next surf to get a bit of chip damage, which ends up being a Toxapex, which is a tank. So for Toxapex, I'll be coming back in with my own Sandslash over here, because I'll be resisting the poison and like poison jab and the sludge wave, which is a nuke, and brine from Toxapex does not hit me very hard. So I'll be happy that I'll be catching this with my own Sandslash over here, and they cannot farm me down with this poison jab, and they will not be able to knock me out with brine as well. So I've got enough loaded energy with my Sandslash over here, and the final Pokemon is going to be a Whiscash. So this game looks to be pretty much wrapped up, because there's a Mud Boy in the pack, and I have got a grass type with Cradily in my backline with 2 shield advantage. So that is pretty much wrapped up, because I have now shield advantage with a full health Cradily over here. So what I'm looking to do is to get to the back-to-back grass knots, building up to back-to-back grass knots. But they went for the first blizzard, which I was quite sure that they will be going for. But now I'll be shielding up the next mud bombs that will be coming through, because they cannot farm me down with mud shots. And I do reach to the back-to-back grass knot over here. The first grass knot will ensure the shield, and the second one will ensure the knockout for this very low Whiscash over here. Not very low, decent health, low decent health Whiscash, and getting the win for the 4th battle here as well. Moving into the next one, I pick up a lead against Blaziken, to which now the safe swaps into their own Cradily. For Cradily, I do have a really hard answer to it, which is my Sandslash. But as I've already mentioned in my last video also, since Shadow variant of Sandslash is not very bulky because of the extra damage that they put in, Stone Edge hits very hard in this meta to this Sandslash. So I'll be looking out for a good amount of energy management with this Sandslash over here. So I'll be going for the next Ice Punch that gets the knockout, and they can farm me down with counters over here. So I'm really happy that I do not have to face this Blaziken and Sandslash matchup, because that will be just obliterating my Sandslash over here, to which now they will be going for the nuke move of Blast One. So I'm quite sure, but Lanturn is very tanky, and they will be resisting the serves, the Blast One as well now. And now I'll be going for my first shield, because from this kind of range, Blaze Kick will hit me hard, and will be getting knockout. But I don't want my energy to go to waste, because from this kind of range, Blaziken is quite tough to handle with my Cradily, and the final Pokemon is going to be a Swampert in the backline for my team, for my opponent's team rather, to which they will be going for the first Hydro Cannon. So I'll be hitting the first Hydro Cannon go through, and I'll be charging up to back-to-back grass knots over here, because they are having only one shield. So the first grass knot will definitely get the shield, but they recognizes their feet and top lives again over here. So GG's to my opponent, really well played. Moving into the final battle of the video, with this team, I pick up a lead against Swampert once again. So without waiting much longer, so I'll be quickly safe swapping again into my own Cradily. I'll be letting the first charge move go through, to which they comes back in with a Toxapex. So Toxapex is kind of a good answer, because it's very tanky, and this poison jab does hit for neutral damage as well, to which now they will be going for a brine, but brine does not take me out from this kind of range. So I'll be going for the next grass knot for a bit of chip damage. And now what I'm looking to go through, looking to do with my Lanturn is going to get a hefty farm down with Sparks over here, on this Toxapex in this scenario, because the Swampert is energy dry and they went for a sludge wave. That is fine, because because the Swampert is energy dry, and if I can land back-to-back serves, that will be critical for the Swampert once again. So either I'm going to get the knockout for Swampert, or I'm going to get shield advantage for my Cradily, for my alolansandslash rather. So first surf land, and now I'll be going for the next one once again. So if they're looking for shield, so I'm happy with it. So I'll be letting my Lanturn go down in the final, and they let the Swampert go down, and the final Pokemon is Cradily from their end as well. So it is almost a kind of a similar team which I have used earlier, to which now I'll be going for the first Ice Punch, because I switched in my alolansandslash over here. So that will be getting the final shield from my opponent's end as well, and I'll be looking to go for the first shield of from my end, because it ends up being a Stone Edge, which you guys have already seen that it hits for neutral damage, but it hits very hard to this shadow variant of Sandslash. So I'll be getting both the shields from my opponent's end with the Ice Punch, and now I'll be letting this Stone Edge go through. That does not knock me out, but now I can reach to the next Ice Punch just in time. That will be guaranteeing the knockout for this Cradily, and giving me the win for the final battle here as well. So Sandslash worked out superbly for me with this pairing of Lanturn and Cradily. So that's all for this video, and see you again in the next one. Till then, peace.